Britt here. I'm in my 60s. I sat down and started looking at my finances, my retirement, and came up with a lot of things I didn't really expect to feel. Scared. Not because I hadn't worked hard, not because I hadn't taken my responsibility seriously, not because I didn't have a financial advisor, not because my parents or my church or my financial advisor hadn't told me exactly what I might expect, and I was scared. Today I'm sharing what they never told us. None of those people, right? So welcome back, sisters. Britt here. This is your channel for a place to be honest, to hear real conversations about faith and life and finances and all of it. And today we are going somewhere that a lot of women our age, they're afraid to go. The word retirement, right? And I'm going to tell you, I cried in the last video. And I might do it again. And when I started this less than a year ago, I would have refilmed. I would have redone it. I wouldn't have told you that I have a retainer in because my front right tooth is completely broken in half. I wouldn't film in that. But you know what? God's not about that. God said, Britt, I want you to deliver information and share things that no one ever told you in hopes to help other women feel better, have an easier life. No, they're not nuts. You're not crazy or broken, or life's not too late. So these are real conversations, and that's another reason I created the Abundant Destiny Academy. It's a place where I share actually real financial trades, not just a bunch of ethereal advice. And I actually have a financial and cryptocurrency expert who has lived it. He's a billionaire. He's not just talking about airy-fairy advice and charging you $5,000 a year to read a newsletter. No, we're talking about real information. And I didn't think I was going to share any of that. My community, it's in the link below. Go ahead and click and join in. You can be on one level for $1, and the other is a couple $100 a month. And it won't stay that way, I'll tell you. We've just launched this recently. Before I get to the content, I just wanted to be real and tell you how it is and share some things that nobody told me. Okay, that scary word again, retirement. It doesn't mean you go off into the sunset and play golf the rest of your life. And frankly, you can still, even in your 60s, 70s, make tracks right now. There's a unique time in history where economies are changing. I promise you it's not too late, but most people will tell you it is. Again, join us in our academy. But if you've been following this channel, you also already know that I've talked about a couple big things that completely change how I see money. Inflation, cryptocurrency, all of it. And if you haven't seen those videos yet, I'm going to link them below because they are part of the foundation of everything that I might be sharing. And I never quite exactly know where I'm going, but I know where I start, and only you know where we end up. But here's a short version. Inflation is quietly shrinking your savings, whether you feel it or not, and whether you're being told a certain number inflation is. When the news is reporting it's 5%, let me tell you, it's about 12. That's the truth. So if you're not earning 12% on your money, you're losing money every single day. But there are tools inside the financial landscape right now that the big guys are trying to scare you from, the Vanguards, the Fidelities, because they want to sell it to you and make the profit. So they're going to tell you it's terrifying until a particular act gets passed. One of those is the Clarity Act. And what I want to talk about today goes even deeper, because before I could make any of the financial moves that I've made, I had to deal with something on the inside first. And here's what nobody told me. The biggest threat to my retirement wasn't the stock market, wasn't inflation, wasn't even my savings account. It's fear. Fear that stopped me from making moves, fears that had me hold on to things instead of going, guess what? Newsflash, you're not taking any of this stuff when you're going to heaven or wherever you're going. Newsflash, let me say it again. You don't get to take any of it. We're stewards. We don't own any of it. Not $1, not one Bitcoin. So fear of losing what little I had back then kept me stuck for a long time. And that fear really, I'll be honest, kept me frozen for years. Years that I could have spent learning and growing and building, and even more importantly, tithing and giving. You can't outgive God. And I've talked to so many women our age who are in the exact same place. They know something needs to change. They feel it. But fear has them paralyzed. Like when you're at the edge of the diving board at the pool, right? You don't want to jump off, but you don't want to walk away because everyone down there at the pool is watching you, right? You just walk to the end. Either you turn around, you go back down the steps, or you jump. God tells us that he's not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind. You can find that in Timothy. And the fear that you feel about your finances, that is not from God, and it's costing you more than you know. So the first thing nobody told me about retirement, one of them anyway, is that fear is a financial decision. And every day you let that fear make your choices, you're choosing to stay exactly where you are. Because God's the author of time, right? He holds everything. He can shrink it, speed it up, and same with your assets. And the second thing nobody told me, and this one actually hit me hard, is that starting over, it's not shameful, it's brave. And maybe you're watching this video and you felt behind. Maybe you've had a bankruptcy. Maybe you've had other things occur where you feel it's too late. And maybe your retirement savings are non-existent, like over 65% of everyone in America. That's enormous. And frankly, I think that statistic might be low. So maybe you made a decision in your 40s and 50s that was going to be some big next deal, right? Maybe that didn't pan out. And maybe life happened. Maybe you had more kids than you thought and you had more colleges to send them to, right? Or divorce or illness or whatever it is. We don't plan for these things. Maybe you're caring for your parents and your finances took the hit. It's important to find a good why. My why to build is A, to glorify God, and B, to be able to take care of the people that I love. You're not alone. You're not disqualified from reaping rewards of good stewardship. And Joel tells us that he'll restore the years the locusts have eaten. I'm counting on a lot of that, by the way. So whatever years feel lost in your life, God's a restorer. But restoration requires participation. You can't sit on the sidelines and say, God, you do it, right? You can't receive what you're afraid to reach for. And you can't receive when you won't let go of your old ideas or old ways of doing things. So if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s and you feel like you're starting at zero, you're not. You're starting with some wisdom. You're starting with decades of experience, resilience, and hopefully discernment at this point that a 30-year-old investor will never have. They simply don't have it. And those aren't small things. Those are powerful assets that you already possess. So if the world tries to tell you your best years are behind you, thank you for sharing. But God's economy doesn't work that way. Sarah laughed when God told her she'd bear a child at the age of 90. Okay, I'm not going to say that you're having a baby at 90. But she bore Isaac anyway, didn't she? Your miracle is not behind you. Don't let the whispers of the enemy tell you that. It may actually be closer than you think. Because miracles happen. I'm going to be talking a lot more about how to bring those into your own life at a faster pace. Here's a third thing that nobody told me, right? And this is the one that changed everything for me. Stewardship doesn't retire. Hello, even in retirement. So we've been taught that retirement is like the finish line, right? You get there, you stop, you rest, you're out of your, quote, job. But God never stops calling us to be faithful with what he's given us, right? The parable of the talents in Matthew 25 doesn't have an age limit. There's no age limit there. The servants weren't told, you're over 50. That's it, just bury it. That's fine, you bury that one. No, faithfulness was expected from all three of them. And it's expected from you too. And me too. So this means continuing to learn, continuing to ask questions, continuing to seek wisdom about how to protect and grow what God has given you. What he's placed in your hands is not an accident, however small or large or whatever the amounts, or maybe they're talents. So my sister, continue to seek wisdom about how to protect and grow what God has placed in your beautiful hands, especially now. And Proverbs 13:16 says, a wise woman acts with knowledge. That's you. So start there, not with investing, but with knowing. Know it in your mind, know it in your heart. And spend time this very week learning something new about your financial options, right? They're a lot more than you realize. And pray over what you find and ask God to give you clarity and courage. And if one of those acts of courage is joining us in the Abundant Destiny, click the link below. Cost you $1 to get in. And please, speak with a professional before making any big decisions. Because what I share here is my personal journey. It's not financial advice. And many advisors will actually talk to you for free. And whatever you do, don't stay frozen. Even imperfect action, God's with you. So you might be in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and let me tell you, you're not done. You're not even close. Because the woman God created you to be is financially free, walking in peace, leaving a legacy for the people you love. She's still possible. She's still you. You just have to take the next step towards her. And some of that financial legacy translate into wisdom legacy. It's not always in money. So don't wait till you feel that you're ready. Faithful women throughout the Bible, they never felt ready. But they said yes anyway, right? And if you want to keep going deeper, there are conversations I simply can't have here on YouTube that I'd love to have with you. They're more personal and real, and we have detailed discussions about life and faith and finances, women in this exact season of life. So, love to see you on the inside again, link below. This community is exclusive. I'd love to have you on the inside with us. So if this blessed you today, my friend, share it with a sister or loved one, a friend, family member, anyone who needs to hear this, even a portion of it, right? Give it a thumbs up, subscribe so we never miss each other. Because you're not too old, you're not too late. You're a woman of God in one of the most powerful seasons of your life. I believe it. I'd love to help you live it. So now go act like it. See you in the next one. And just remember, you are beloved.